Hello and welcome to episode 75 of the Ski Instructor Podcast. My name's Dave Burrows and I'm the director and owner of SnowPros ski school based here on the Swiss side of the Porte du Soleil in Val d'Illier. I hope you're all well and enjoying the summer. It's been a pretty glorious summer so far here. It's been super hot, pretty dry. Lately the weather's turned, it's a bit colder, but you know, that's a normal sort of cold snap in the middle of summer here. It's kind of a normal thing. I expect it to warm up again soon. We're not really even into August yet. So enjoying the summer myself. I've been paddling on the lake. I'm getting on with my project, my kayak to the sea project. I'm on leg 2 now. So my aim, I don't even know where this idea came from, but my aim is to essentially paddle from as near to my house as I can, which is, so there's a river that goes down the Val d'Illier called the Viez. The Viez dumps out into the Rhône, and then the Rhône travels down, dumps into Lake Geneva, and then when it gets to Geneva, it carries on and it goes all the way to the Mediterranean. So I saw that one day and I thought, yeah, that's a thing I'd like to do. It's quite a sort of fun, adventurous thing. And it sort of a long-term project, and I like things like that. So I'm on leg 2 now. I've got down the Rhône as far as into the lake, and I've got as far as a place called Saint-Gingolph, which is the border between Switzerland and France. And then the plan is to keep paddling down towards Geneva and get sort of part 1 done, which is going to be towards Geneva this year. And then after that, I go from there. But logistically, it's starting to get a little bit more complicated. So you kind of got to get to where, let me see, how did I do it yesterday? So, for example, you've got to dump the boat where you dump the boat, or you've got to park your car somewhere. And then I had to paddle to where I was going to. And then once I'd got that done, I had to then get the train back to the car. Once I get into France, there aren't any trains on that side. So you've then got to rely on buses and various other bits and pieces, maybe even taxis. So got to work all that out. It adds time to the whole process, and maybe there'll even be a bit of sort of overnight and camping and various other bits and pieces involved. So we'll see, but that's the summer project, or summer and autumn project, and we see where we go. And I've spent the last kind of year or 2, I think it's probably a year, like learning how to kayak. So a bit of a name check, but thanks for Tom Brody for teaching me and getting me to my current level of competence, which is not very competent, but it's good enough to do what I'm trying to do. So there you go. What also doesn't help is kind of ongoing lower back hip flexors issue, which kayaking is not a sport that is very nice to those particular things. This week I bring you a interview that I did with my director of skiing, Max Colvin. Max has been working with me now for, I think, about 5 years, and he is essentially tasked with looking after the team. So the team now has got too big for me to kind of manage on my own. And for the last 2 or 3 years, he's been looking after the team, managing any issues that come up, organizing instructors, you know, all of that kind of non-glamorous stuff, but all that stuff that makes a team work very well. So I sat down and had a chat with Max, and I think you'll see that, or you'll feel the atmosphere in this particular one. It's very slow. It's very relaxed. We sat down at the end of the ski season, effectively. I think this was in April, just before he left this year. And we just kind of sat down and chatted, you know, chewed the card, or whatever the phrase that you wanted to say. And you get a real impression for the atmosphere, the relationship that Max and I have is pretty chilled out. We have a really, really long and rambling and interesting conversation about sort of general things, but there's a bit more back and forth in this one. So in other interviews, you will have, you know, you'll be used to me kind of guiding the conversation and leading it, but this one's a bit more back and forth and it's a bit more relaxed, and there's lots of kind of, it's slower. And I think probably in some ways it's going to be ideal summer listening. It's about 2 hours long. It's a sort of long rambling chat. So in addition to Max looking after my team in the winter and being an amazing ski instructor, he also runs a company that makes surfboards. He also teaches surfing, and he holds the Swiss Valasian Patente qualification. He's also passed the level 4 British technical. Like, he's an amazing skier and snowboarder, and pretty much anything sliding he can turn his hand to. Absolutely incredible guy. So I leave you with this long and rambling interview that's got a little bit kind of bit backwards and forwards, and there's a bit more probably about me that you maybe didn't know, which kind of was the idea of this podcast, was a bit more of a kind of a two-way thing. So I hope you enjoy it. I've got a few more in the bag waiting to go. They'll be coming out over the next months, and I'm just trying at the moment to run around and get, there's at least 4 podcasts on my little podcast guests on my list that I haven't interviewed yet, and a whole bunch of them in the bag. So plenty of stock, and yeah, it's going to be some interesting opinions on the on the podcast to come. Hope you're all well. Enjoy the summer, and I will see you soon. Right, we'll just let it go, and we'll feel our way into the conversation. Go from there.
It's just after the intro where you've talked about the snow.
Talked about snow and how you are and all that stuff.
Yeah,
you know, this is the real thing. And there's normally like a few minutes of amble before that I cut out, and then, you know, goes all right. So you've been up shredding today?
Yeah, shredding, skiing a bit of snow park in the end, which is something that I'd like to. Well, we were talking about like maintaining your skill level.
Maintaining your level.
As you get older. I know I'm not old, but even past 26, I think. Certain things you go up and you get better at, and certain things you maintain or get worse at. I don't know, I think freestyle's one of those that...
You think it's a young man's game?
Yeah, or harder to keep up, maybe, when you're like teaching skiing a lot, or have responsibilities, not getting injured at the start of season.
Yeah, right.
And I think like having the time to do it in between season when like you're feeling good. And
yeah. So didn't this come out of a conversation we had the other day? So we run quite a successful freestyle club on a Sunday, which has got just an increasingly like gang-like mentality.
Yeah.
These days, those kids are pretty wild, super confident. I see them on the weekends, and they're pretty good. But you've still got to be able to, as they get better, you've still got to be able to demonstrate the stuff that they're aspiring towards.
Yeah. It becomes harder and harder to get like a wow from them to impress them. And every now and then I've got to be like, okay, I'm going to push it a little bit today. And
now, what's the maximum trick that any of those guys can do so far? Who's like the best?
Little Matt he's like consistently 360ing off like red jumps now.
Oh wow!
He's done 540s, or he's done a handful. I think like the bigger ones as well. Well, like some of them are quite good skiers, so it's like this quite intense speed of skiing, and then because they're so like high energy kids, you've got to kind of keep up and go. And even just like straight airs, like big jump straight airs. So like the black jumps in the Chappelle Snow Park.
Oh yeah,
most of them are doing that now.
Oh wow!
And so like to go,
they're
like,
big.
And kids don't need warm ups, right? I'm there. I'm like, right, do a little leg swing. And I've seen other freestyle clubs do that. There's the Swiss one here.
Yeah.
They do like a 20-minute head to toe warm up, and I don't think they've got the patience for that.
No, not from what I've seen. They don't like to stand still from what I've seen.
So I think I kind of got to come warmed up, or because I've got, this relationship that I've built with some of them for like the last 5 years.
Yeah.
I'd just be like, look, hey man, you know, I'm going to tell you what to do today. I'm going to point you in the right direction, but you're not going to see much from me. Is that okay? And they're like, that's okay. That's fine today.
They know that they can sense your mood.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, but at some point, you have to be able to. I'm just opening a window because it's boiling in my house. But at some point, you've got to be able to demonstrate, you know, the next level, right? I suppose.
Yeah.
And if they can already do 540s, then the next level's quite big, isn't it?
Well, there's demonstrate. I think demonstrate's more of like an instructor thing, isn't it? Like coaching. There's plenty of people coaching athletes that are better than they're ever going to be or ever was.
Yeah.
And so they understand the movements. With these kids, it's like pushing them in a direction that I know they can do it, or I know there's a small risk of them not doing it, and getting hurt. And it's just finding the right moment for that. Like, okay, here's the jump, here's the day.
Yeah.
You can do that. The kid's like, no, I'm scared. And you're like, no, you can do that. Like, I know you. I've seen you skiing. You can do that.
Yeah. But they've come a long way then if they're doing things like 540s or I mean, black kickers and stuff since we started that club. I mean, that's a big...
The thing is, a lot of them can barely ski when they come in. There was another kid, the Max. He was with Stuart last year, which is the kind of the lower group.
The feeder.
And, the lower kind of age and skill level. It's a bit of a two thing because there's people in the higher group that are less skill level, but it's not like an intense, you know, athlete training club. So it's important that they're with their mates. You know, it's like a friendly environment too. It's just like, oh no, you don't make the cut, you can't do a jump. Oh, you're going to go with the little kids. That kid wouldn't come back next year. But yeah, one of the kids, he could barely ski. He was like barely maintaining parallel, and just by following around with the others and just being a bit loose, a bit crazy. Like now he's made it into my group, and now he's jumping as high as some of the kids in my group, and they've all been like, oh god, like we need to step it up.
Yeah, nuts. They're a crazy crew for sure.
Yeah,
it's an amazing thing you've created, really.
Yeah, it's a fine line, I think, with keeping them happy, letting them mess around, keeping them safe. Somewhere in between there's like a perfect balance, which every now and then I get a bit annoyed with them. I'm like, hey, that wasn't cool. But I'm not like, that wasn't cool.
Yeah, I suppose they're young boys, aren't they? It's in their nature to test the limit of like what they can get away with.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like occasionally I turn a blind eye.
Yeah.
Which it's all right, but then I see like, I'm like, oh, imagine if I was another instructor watching these kids and being like, God, who is their instructor? Why isn't that? They're not disrespecting other people.
Yeah,
they're messing around with themselves. They've got this obsession with like the Kuberé drag lift.
Right.
Like you've seen this, you know, the kids, they like whoever's at the start with their poles, they stick it in the snow.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
it drives me wild. So they stick it one pole in the snow, and then the next kid will either pick up the pole or not, stick their pole in the snow. So you've got like multiple poles that are getting like passed down, and then it's the one at the back's having to bend over and pick them up.
Yeah.
Most of the time I'm at the back because like that's what you should do, but sometimes I'm not because, you know, they're old enough. They're good skiers. They don't always kind of do the classic instructor, I'm going to pick up the back.
Yeah.
But when I am at the back, I'm there, and if none of them pick up the poles, then I've got to do it. I got to the top last time. I was like, hey, look, you can play this stupid game. It's fine. But if I'm at the back and there's still a pole there next time, I'm not picking it up. And then the Kuberé lift, it like breaks. Have you seen that? Like the other thing they do is they spin it around. So they're like on it. I don't know how the listener's going to imagine this. They kind of spin it around. So it's like doing a circle in front of their crotch, which is like really hilarious to the boys. And it snaps, that lift, because it's quite old, the rope. So they've broke a few now.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this is all coming out. You're going to be like,
yeah,
I'm going to get told after
Port de Soleil's going to come after me now.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. I told them not to do that. And then obviously as soon as they go to the side, the lift gets stopped.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's the...
But they're a fun bunch. They're a really fun bunch, aren't they? And I think that's a really good place for, you know, if you look at their kind of academic life as well, I expect they're being pushed quite hard. And I expect that Sunday thing is a real chance for them just to let off some steam, you know?
I mean, I'm kind of in awe of them in a way. Like, I'm a little bit jealous because, you know, they've got like 2 languages, most of them.
Yeah.
Some of them 3. They've got pretty, you know, I don't say wealthy, but like parents with great jobs. You know, they've got the whole future ahead of them. Some of them.
It's an incredible opportunity. I think if you think about, well, I don't know, because I kind of look at you the same. You grew up surfing, didn't you? Essentially. That's, I mean, I think everyone gets opportunities in their own way, depending on what it is that they, where it is and whatever it is that they came from. And I think as a parent, my view on parenting is essentially that you're just giving your child the best opportunities that they can, and you're giving them the best of what you've got to give. So in me and my wife's situation, it would be languages for sure.
Yeah.
The opportunity to grow up here in this place, I mean, amazing. And all of the things that this area can provide, plus it's super safe, you know, and it's wonderful. But from what I know about, you know, you growing up surfing, like that would be, it's an incredible opportunity that never came to me because I grew up in the middle of London, right?
Well, I suppose my dad taking me on ski holidays, like,
yeah, right, that too.
Wouldn't have happened. This wouldn't have happened if it wasn't for that.
No, and I think, I mean, we never went skiing. Like, it was just not on the menu for my family. It's not something that we did, just because the vast majority of my family and upbringing was just revolved around parents' business. So I was like, you know, all this stuff that we've talked about running the business, like the ski school and your surfboard company, it all just comes from being in that environment. You know, I was working in their shop when I was, you know, not even 10. Like, you know, I was down there on Saturdays, Sundays, helping out, like working, and you kind of learn all these things just by being there and observing it. So I suppose in that was their gift to me, in essence.
Yeah,
it's kind of taken me in the direction that I've gone in.
So what was the shop?
So they were. My dad started off as an electrician, and eventually they became like an electrical wholesaler. So they would sell electrical and building supplies and stuff to tradesmen, essentially. So they had a big shop, and you know, they hit the market at a certain, you know, time, and they did really, really well out of it. And but the issue was that they were there 7 days a week, and you know, that had a consequential effect on my upbringing. Like they were constantly working, and we were, don't know, it's a different time then. Kind of essentially just brought yourself up, but like it was a bit different. But we were around our aunt's house or grandparents and various other bits and pieces, and that. But at the weekend there was no one to you know, they had staff, but the staff were only Monday to Friday. So on a Saturday and Sunday, it was us. Like, it was a family effort on the weekend. So I was there on Saturday and Sunday. It got to the point where I think if they were away, when I was older, I'd go down there and open the place up and close it, like on a Sunday. That was nuts. I mean, you really think back about it. So I wasn't really that old, like 18 or 17 or something. So yeah, interesting times. But like I say, you get given what you get given, right? So your parents take you on a ski holiday. Like, whoever took me on, whoever the PE teacher was that ran that school ski trip that I first went on, you know, I wouldn't have arrived at this point if it hadn't have been for that.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have been, you know, if your old man hadn't taken you skiing and taken you surfing, you wouldn't have arrived with this sort of cat-like balance that you have when you ski about, right? Yeah, so I don't know, what was that like for you? How did you end up being here, essentially? Like, we've been working together at least 5 years now.
Yeah, I think it's
5, must be 5
seasons.
or 6. Yeah.
I was 25.
Yeah, we were looking for people, and I said to you, "Hey, I've got like a bit of a part-time role."
I saw your
and
advert on Facebook.
Next thing you know,
that was it.
Yeah,
it was a good advert on Facebook because it was really short on the Basie Community Hub, and it said looking for someone like nearly level 3 or level 3. Like ideally speaks a little bit of French and can talk on subjects other than après ski.
Yeah, that's still the same advert that we've got now running. Like, are you interested?
I think you've like cleaned it up a little bit. I think now you say can talk on a variety of subjects.
It's probably I should be more leery with that advert.
And I think I think I used the fact that I'd like taught surfing and other sports as like, okay, I can talk on other subjects.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was after what?
That was before COVID, because I remember
it was the COVID season.
Was it?
My first year was the COVID year.
Oh, right.
So I finished up in March when Switzerland shut down early. France went on for like a couple of weeks after.
Did it? Okay.
Because I don't know, because of our kind of clients in Geneva or whatever.
Yeah, it was.
We kind of knew, didn't we?
Yeah.
There was like quite a few murmurs early.
Yeah. And
then we had one school. It was finishing on a Friday anyway.
Yeah.
And then you kind of brought us all in.
Yeah. Sorry, guys.
Sorry. We was just absolutely lost.
That was mental.
I remember Patrick. He kind of gave the sound advice early.
Yeah.
He was like, "Go home now. Just go home." He was the first one that actually was smart enough to know it was going to be a thing.
Yeah.
We were all like in denial. We were like, nah, it's fine. It's fine. Patrick, even from the early days, he's like, by the way, the country's going to shut down. I'm like, you're crazy old man. Don't believe you.
Miss Patrick. So what led you up to the point that we got in touch? What was your journey up to that point?
So I did a classic gap course when I was 18.
Oh yeah.
I was pretty dead set I was going to be a ski instructor.
Okay.
Like I knew from my like family holiday when I was like maybe 13 or something. We were in like a, I don't know, pretty basic chalet holiday in France, and there was one guy there that said he knew someone in the area. I think it was like Maribel, Courchevel, something like that. And he was like, "Oh, he's training to be a ski instructor. We should go ski with him." Mm-hmm. And we went round with his buddy, and I'd never seen anyone like it. I was like, "Oh my god! Like he's a wizard. He's just flying around the place, like just super nimble." He must have been training for his level 4 or something because he wasn't yet. And as soon as I saw that guy, I was like, "Yeah, that's it. That's what I want to do." I thought about being a photographer for a while because I was like, "Okay, that's a good way that I can ski and be in and around like the area and do the sport, but not, don't know, take photos."
Tough way to make a living that these days.
Well, no, definitely.
Imagine, right?
I think the people that got in there before it went crazy, did all right. But yeah, that was. Oh yeah, so the gap course was with Inski.
Okay.
And I stayed like just at the bottom of the gondola.
Huh.
I think it's a bank now. It used to be an accommodation and a cafe downstairs. I stayed there, and that would have been 2013 maybe.
Okay.
And then
so that took you to level 2?
That took me to level 2.
Yeah.
And then I did a couple of weeks work after. That was kind of the promise of Inski, which I believe they still do.
Yeah.
Took me to Basie 2 and did a couple of weeks work, and then I was doing summer seasons in Greece at the time. I was like teaching windsurfing. So I left a little bit earlier than everyone else to get out there. And then my plan for like the next few years, what I did was I like chipped away at level 3 modules by like using Interski. This was like my genius cheap way of doing like a full season. I'd get the bus out on like the first week and like pack all my stuff so I didn't have to pay for anything. I'd do like a bit of that. I'd do a bit of training. I think the first year I did like just the mountain safety because I wanted to like kind of be solid for the training. And then I'd like do most of the exams in Morzine because you could quite easily, there's always someone driving from Morzine to Aosta. So I just like jump in, get a lift with someone, leave all my stuff at Interski, come back and do like 8 weeks of the year or something.
Okay.
And that worked pretty well for quite a few years.
How were you getting on with Greece? You don't like the heat.
I don't mind.
It must have been boiling there in summer.
Yeah, it was pretty hot in the middle of summer. So no, you just stayed like wet. You just hose yourself down.
Is that how you do it?
Yeah.
God, couldn't pay me to do a summer in Greece.
I don't mind.
Imagine how hot it would be. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then kept doing that until I got my 3. And then somewhere along the line did like Australia, Japan, New Zealand, all in like a 2-year stint of like 2 years of winter or 2.5 years of winter.
Okay.
And then I was like, right, now I should, the Australia was to save money to spend on the 4 training. Right. And I think that's by the time I'd done all that, that's when I kind of arrived to you.
Yeah.
Just like jaded.
Burnt out.
Just done like a bunch of Euro tests. I had passed my tech. I think I got that the second time, the full tech, and that was like, I felt great. I was like, cool, don't have to do that ever again. And like to know that you have like that standard of skiing,
right,
was nice.
Yeah.
And then kind of arrived to you, and I was like, do you know what? Actually, I want to do I don't want to move around all the time. I want to be in a small place. I've been to like the massive ski schools of like Perisher and NZ Ski and even Interski is kind of quite big. I was like, I just want to be somewhere where I can kind of get to know people in the village and actually be kind of not the bottom of the rung, even though you're fairly highly qualified. Mm-hmm. Just come in and kind of, be respected that you had a qualification and not have to start from the bottom, which is what I got from you, which was like straight away I was like, oh, great, thanks.
I did get it because I think I do remember when we spoke, it was kind of like I've moved around a bit, actually, just settled down for a bit.
I had no money as well. I was like skiing,
coasting into town on fumes.
That
classic story.
Little white van. I think my first time I arrived, it was like Morzine. I was like, I should know this place because it's in the Port Soleil. So obviously, spent a load of time in Morzine, did a couple of seasons there. And then I remember specifically when I was living in Morzine, I was coming back from somewhere like Austria or something. I drove through Morzine and I looked at the one rickety lift and the tiny village, and I was like, God, imagine doing a season here. It was not even a concept at the time.
No, but it's funny how much terrain that little old rickety lift used to have.
Yeah. But I think when you drive through, you can't really see, because you only see that one lift and it disappears into the trees. You're like, oh, there's nothing here. It's a dead end resort.
Yeah.
There's one slushy run that comes back to the car park. Mm-hmm. I mean, now it's this epic gondola. Yeah,
and the new lift at the top, the carpet, transformed that place.
Yeah, really it is good.
Yeah, I'm often quite cynical about changes that they're going to make, but those two have been amazing for that place.
I just don't get how that's kind of being afforded still. Or if it's like a long-term goal. But actually, Lucas was saying that it's really busy in the summer, right?
Yeah, year-round bike park there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. And I don't think, it doesn't all come out of, I think essentially what they do is they take a loan for some of it. I'm not sure which operating entity it was. I don't think Télé Morzine exists anymore, so it would have been the overall Port Soleil that did it. But they also would have got in funds from the canton probably as well. So they would have had money from Valais. for it, and various other bits and pieces, like development funds, I suppose.
It's definitely good. Good for everyone.
It's been good for the village, eh? It's been really good. They've had an amazing winter. It's been really cool. Yeah, and then so after that, once you arrived here, I think you then jumped ship like I did, and you went over to Swiss Snowsports.
You convinced me to jump ship. You were like, look, this is beneficial for you on the Swiss side, for both of us. And I was like, sure, let's go for it. And then, got all that done for the Patente. And it felt pretty good. The Swiss stuff that was probably one of my most fun exams at the time, the conversion.
Right.
Because
it's a nice atmosphere.
Yeah, it was a nice atmosphere. Yeah. It fit my skill set. Like I could, all the freestyle stuff was, the switch skiing was nice. And the fact that you could be a bit more playful. And I think before that, the season, like that, my first season running up to it, was it the year after I did it? No, it was the year after.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
You really won, and then you got on with it.
Yeah. You kind of were like showing me about the Swiss system and, sending me those videos, and I was like, oh, this is kind of playful and relaxed, and this actually kind of suits me better than like trying to throw myself down a GS course. It just doesn't really suit my body with more than anything. Yeah,
and I suppose in hindsight, then lately, when you've seen all the changes to, post-Brexit changes, and what the French have put in now in order to become a kart pro in France,
even harder, right?
I mean, they just don't want you there.
No. Yeah, it definitely felt geared up. Basically felt geared up for France and not a lot else, especially being in New Zealand and Australia. New Zealand more so. It's like it was so many loops to jump through to get the Basie free, which is great. It's a high standard. It's
ISA stamp standard.
Great. Yeah. But then I'm looking next to me, and there's like a level 3 who's done, an 8-day course. He's getting paid the same, or, I think I was missing a couple modules, and I was like, hey guys, like, I've done a 5-day tech, a 5-day teach, I've done a mountain safety, and you've got like, I think NZ free is different, but some of the other frees, Australian frees, definitely. Maybe the skiing standard is similar, but yeah, it felt a bit out of whack over there. Definitely.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and then I ended up doing the written project, and I was like, right, okay, I'm going to use this as an opportunity to try and like feedback, essentially. Yeah. I was like, hey, this is the freestyle standard. Like the fact that there's not really any freestyle, and since then Basie have changed that, which I think is great. They've started to include it.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they do. I don't fully understand.
What is it in the tech, or is it a module?
It's even in the level 2. There's like a little tick in the box for freestyle. I'm not
yeah.
sure what you have to do, but the fact it's in there is great.
Is it in the 3 as well?
Not sure. I have to look it up.
You have to do some freestyle.
Yeah.
Like what? Straight air or something?
Yeah, straight air. I mean, the fact that they've even got a section where you now go in the park, I assume, and they tell you the park rules, because that was one thing that you had a bunch of level 2s taking people.
Yeah.
First thing kids want to do, right? They want to go in the park. Majority of them. Remember, I did like a little questionnaire on the Basie forum, and I put out this questionnaire like, have you taught freestyle? And there's all these people, Did you feel you were prepared for that by your exams? Well, no, there was nothing in there.
No, any of the exams that I did, it was just not. There was not a component of it, because none of the guys, as far as I know, either it was not a component, or they didn't want to teach it, or there wasn't time. I guess, but it just wasn't a thing at all. And it's something that people want to know.
It is definitely younger kids.
Yeah, for sure.
But it seems like 90% of what we do with at least like the higher level groups that we get from the schools, it's like first thing they say, can we go to the snow park? You're like, yeah.
There's trouble there. Yeah, I see that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that was it. And then we just And you've just been busy.
Trucking away. Yeah, trucking away.
And I've been gradually offloading more and more of my responsibility onto you.
Yeah, which has been like
a learning process.
Yeah, I think it's been like an emotional learning process for us both too.
It's been nice this year.
It's been good this year. I wonder if we could evaluate it, maybe not now.
Yeah, let's do that. That's a post-season discussion.
Yeah.
But
I think it's hard to come into someone's baby, their business, especially when it's not that big. And, you know, for you to let go and for me to fully grasp and be like, no, this is how it's going to be.
Yeah.
You're giving me the responsibility. This is how it's going to go.
I've tried to be fair, I'm going to put my hand out. I've tried very hard. I wasn't very good at it in the beginning. Yeah. But I try very hard now just to leave it all to you.
I think you put the pressure on me last year, where you're like, hey, you know, now's your time, do it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God.
Yeah. But that's just born of me having no time.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a shame really, because I really like, you can't have it both ways. I really like the idea of being part of the team.
Yeah.
But you can't be part of the team and be the boss of the team.
I think you are more than you, I don't know if you realise but the fact that you still want to be part of the team makes you part of the team, because people are looking, oh, he does really care. He's busy and I'm going to leave him alone and ask Max that question. But when I need to speak to him or when there's an issue, he's there mostly there to listen. Timing's everything with you.
Yeah, that's true.
And I tell the team that because it's important. And I think they don't realise, because they're sitting there. Something's just happened to them on their lesson or their paycheck or whatever it is, and they don't realise that maybe that's happened to, you know, 7 other members of the team, and there's also this thing that's totally gone wrong, you know, and the backstory, and you're dealing with it all. So I guess that's a tip for instructors. I don't know.
Don't go straight to the boss.
Or try and find your moment.
I think so. But I mean, that's why you're there, isn't it? You're like the buffer between me and the team.
Yeah.
Essentially. You need to have that separation, because I'm kind of, well, not only that, but also my mind already is turned to next year, as you've seen. So I'm already thinking about stuff and like, what we're going to do next year, The stuff going in the diary already for 2026. Plans being made for 2026. And it's kind of, I recognise the fact that it's too much for you as well sometimes. You're like, oh God, he's already thinking about next year, like plotting this, that, and the other. You know, can you just calm down a bit? And I'm like, no, I can't do it. I need to get next year sorted.
It's even like some of the teachers, they don't, you know, our clients, they don't know what's happening next year, and you're like, yeah, but like we need to know now, because we need to employ people.
We do need to know now.
And the same with instructors. It's like, hey guys, it's March, but
are you coming back?
Can you tell us what you're doing in December right now?
Yeah.
And it's not always seasonal jobs. People change around, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They surely do. Yeah. What was your specialisation being involved in, like freestyle? Would you say that's your main specialisation, or are you snowboarder, or are you technical skier? Like, what is? You do a bit of everything.
Yeah, I think that's something that I tried to. It was freestyle, or at least I kind of pushed it as freestyle.
Yeah.
Because not a lot of people were. You didn't need much freestyle to be a freestyler. When I was doing my level 2 and my level 3, around me wasn't people that could even do a 180. And so I was a freestyler just because I could do something.
Yeah.
Definitely liked it, and I definitely wanted to push that. And I think that's come from, like, you know, skateboarding and surfing and those kind of cultures. Like, I kind of grew up a lot around the skate park. I tried lots of different things, like skated a lot, BMX'd, and even tried inlining, which is like totally not cool now.
That's not cool at all.
Had a moment.
It's not even cool from a retro point of view.
No, I watched a YouTube video the other day where they were claiming it was going to have a resurgence.
No.
It's like probably not. But I see like it can help your skiing so much. It's the same kind of thing.
Neil Bastian did his written project on inline.
Yeah.
Cross training for the winter.
But not freestyle, just
not freestyle, just skate. Yeah, like you see Richie Berger videos and stuff like that.
Or like I'm sure it's not just the Italians, but I've only ever seen it in Italy, like the kind of cross country, roller skate things.
But you can get a roller, like an inline roller attachment for a ski boot. That exists. Looked it up.
Yeah.
And so you can turn your ski boot into essentially an inline roller boot, and you can take it. I don't know. You find a gentle hill somewhere, and you can practice your ankle flex. I don't know whether. I think I'd like to try it.
The risk reward there is not there for me.
I would imagine it's pretty low.
It's the same with like skateboard, and that's why I kind of left it alone. You get to a certain speed, and you're like, I just don't want to hit the ground right now, so I'm not going to try anything.
Have you been, by the way, down in Monte, or I think it's Monte, down just by the massive ice rink there? There's a huge skate park
in Monte.
Yeah, and it's amazing. I drive past it every Tuesday, and it's enormous.
I haven't seen the one in Monte. There's a pretty crazy pump track in Egg.
No, the UCI one.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this is a proper skate park. I'll send you where it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's worth a visit, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway. So that would be what your roots would be.
But you said about the specialisation. I think it was definitely more freestyle, but I like to try and be able to do everything. But any of the kind of racing and technical stuff was because I had to. Because
to pass
exams, yeah. Although this season in particular, since doing the PSIE course, I've really enjoyed technical skiing.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, thinking about it, watching it again, I think I was like lost that fun element. Yeah, it's nice to rip a nice turn, and it's nice to remain good past your technical exams, but I wasn't trying to improve my technical skiing. I was just skiing about, making sure I was still like in good form, whatever. But then this year I thought, okay, maybe I can still get better at technical skiing.
Yeah,
and maybe that's a good idea as well if freestyle is starting to get harder and harder as you get older.
Yeah. But not only that, I think the further that
you
you can push your technical level of skiing, the easier it is, take this as advice from an old man, is that you can maintain it for longer if you push it harder now.
Yeah.
It's hard to get it back if you let it go.
Yeah.
Is my feeling on it. Like I've essentially had, I don't know, I really lost the feeling for it maybe 4 years ago. And I wasn't not really motivated to go skiing at all. But this year it's come back, and it's a direct consequence of and probably, listener, we should put a little bit of a disclaimer in here. So Max and I have qualified as licensed course providers for the Professional Ski Instructors of Europe, and we run our own level 1 courses through those guys these days now. We've run 2 this winter, and certainly for me, it sounds like for you as well, certainly for me, it's really lit a fire under my so going, shadowing courses, preparing for being able to deliver those courses, just lit a fire under me like that I haven't had for years and years and years. And I'm really interested in skiing, really interested in getting back my level of skiing, decent level of skiing, and having a really nice technical understanding. But I think the main thing for me was that I found a bunch of kind of kindred spirits that thought about skiing in the same way that I think about skiing, and I have been thinking about for years and years and years. And a lot of the stuff that I did previously, I've been like, what you're saying does not make sense. And now I found, a way of skiing that reflects how I think it is, how I think it works, and how I think the physics of it works. And so for me, that's been super interesting. And then, having the ability for us to pass that on to the next generation, and also to build and create ski instructors in our own image. That's the other thing I'm super excited about, because on one of these courses, we're going to find someone that's going to be amazing, that will be with us for years and years and years. And we can find, we don't have to recruit externally. We can find and build our own, That for me, I think, is one of the most interesting things about it as well. But it sounds like it did that for you as well.
Yeah, I think I was really interested in snowboarding last year.
Yeah, you were, weren't you?
Days off were always on a snowboard, and this year I'm like actually feeling a bit wobbly every time I get on a snowboard.
Oh yeah.
But like the technical skiing, the kind of snowboarding that I do, it's more like skiing anyway. It's more carving, and mostly people think snowboarding, they're like, okay, it's freestyle. But I'm more interested in getting as low as possible.
Including that alpine board you brought to the Aberray 2 years ago.
Bindings facing forward and everything. And then like the PSIE stuff and getting back into the technical stuff kind of reignited even that, like thinking about how any kind of edge change, right? So similar, skiing and snowboarding.
Have you seen, by the way, that is an absolute hero who's up and down the Stad in Le Creuset? He's got an alpine board,
the one that's
it's got one foot in front of the other. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a snowboard or a ski.
It's called either a squall or ski wall. I forget it.
Oh my god! And he's going about with like he's got a headband on, pair of sunnies, and a retro ski suit.
He's
up there like all the time.
He's got like the zinc on his lips.
Yeah.
And like the glacier
That's
glasses.
Right.
I've been meaning to have a chat to him and be like, hey man,
I want to know who that guy is.
Me and you, like we could hang out. I'll come up on my 80s
We've seen that
alpine board.
He's so cool. And he's actually he's doing it. He's really doing it.
He's getting there.
Yeah,
occasionally lays an edge down, but I mean those things you literally put your ear on the snow every turn, and when you get it right.
Yeah.
Like I've seen videos.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
But there's no other option. There's no skidding option.
No.
It's like an out of control skid, or you just go for it and lay down a turn.
It doesn't really help on an audio podcast, but essentially he's on a very thin snowboard or a fat ski.
It's even thinner than a mono because the feet are together. The feet are in front of each other.
Yeah, you've got one foot, and they're like literally in line, aren't they?
I think they're almost exactly.
I don't think they're offset. I mean, it's nuts. It doesn't look comfortable. I don't know how he's doing it, but
gets some serious pains at the end of the day.
Yeah, I mean, but this guy's a hero. I need to find out who he is. I just never kind of got on a lap with him. I see him coming down.
Yeah,
but I've never been in sync with him enough to find out.
I mean, if he was from the village, I think I'd know who he was.
Yeah, I reckon he's a guy who just comes up and does it sort of ironically.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know who he is. But the reason I've seen him so much is I've also got back into, because I'm trying to improve my skiing and get this movement pattern back, is I'm either lapping Marchusson or I'm lapping the Stad.
Yeah, 2 spots.
Or maybe the Blue Run if I'm kind of, there's a little zippy bump thing that I like to do and some other stuff. But I'm not really going that far elsewhere. I'm just kind of going round and round when I'm doing it for myself.
Yeah.
And that's something I used to do a lot years and years ago, but I kind of drifted away, but I'm kind of back to it now. I'm just kind of skiing for the sake of skiing. It's really nice.
It's good. It's good to see for you, because last year was, well, I feel like we'd almost laugh. It was almost a joke. Do you want to go skiing?
Yeah. No, I'm all right. I'll go to the office.
Yeah.
I've been a bit lost with that because I'm time poor in that respect, as you know.
Yeah.
It's been really difficult because I can't get away from my phone. Well, I have been able to lately, but I haven't been able to get away from my phone long enough to do anything meaningful. Like in the middle of the season, I'd come back. I can't put it down because there's so many inquiries coming in. It's been a crazy, crazy busy winter. But at the same time, I don't know whether that's because everyone's busy or something that we've done with marketing. But it's been nuts.
Snow was good.
I mean, if you're going to look at the stats at the end of the season, Alicia's just saying to me, it's been crazy. Like, just absolutely mental. So, yeah, don't know. We'll work that all out. That's a post-season discussion. But so that was the latest evolution of your journey. Then is going and qualifying, doing the LPT training with those guys.
Yeah, back on the exam and thinking about ski and horse. Otherwise, it's kind of training the team on, I don't know, what I believed before and what I'd learned on the way.
And we don't train, do we? We don't train any specific theory because we essentially are a melting pot of a bunch of different ideas.
We don't kind of chuck a manual out and
so you
go
must
through
teach
it.
like this.
Yeah, but I think it's what we have is a melting pot of different instructors with different qualifications too, and even more so now.
Yeah,
got like an IAZ, a PSIA, a bunch of Bazies, someone who's never done anything but Swiss.
Yeah, it's true.
2 people that have never done anything but Swiss.
Yeah, it's
and
right.
someone who's quite recently gone through the entire Swiss system.
Yeah,
which is kind of great to bounce it off. I think it's it's helpful.
Yeah, those sessions I think are good. It's nice to have a kind of bit of an idea swap on how we think things work. And they're not always saying the same things, I don't think, which is good. You know, there's no one way to skin a cat.
No,
I don't think. But I think everyone's got their own kind of ideas as to how it works.
Yeah,
that's a good thing. But that doesn't seem to, from within the ski school, that doesn't seem also to affect too much the way, the quality of the delivery.
Well, what I don't notice, which I thought might be an issue, which I'm sure I've come across as an issue, like working in New Zealand, is like you get a lesson from someone else, you take over.
Yeah.
And you listen and you're like, what have they been teaching them? Like, that's strange or doesn't make sense. I've never had that. I've never been like, oh, you were taught that. Or I've never had a client look at me and be like, well, that's not what the other instructor said. So that's good, right?
That is good, yeah. I have had some, because also it depends on the message received, right, as well.
Yeah, they could.
So they might take something and it might not be, they might have interpreted it differently. But I've had a couple of things where I've been like, oh, okay, I see what they were trying to get to.
Yeah.
When I've heard the client repeat that back to me, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I can understand why he was teaching that.
Yeah.
And by the way, here's another way.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is no, that's true. I'm surprised that doesn't come up more often. But then we don't switch clients that much.
Try not to, do we?
No, generally most people they stay with one unless we've got real scheduling issues.
Yeah.
It doesn't really happen.
I did actually have it snowboarding the other day. They had Alex before, and I think we were both talking about the same thing, but in a different way. And then the client was like, "Oh, this is how Alex explained it." I was like, "Just tried it." I was like, "Oh, yep,
it really works."
That was great. I really like that.
I've learned something today.
And it was even like, what was hilarious is it was even this kind of almost our theme of the season of like softening.
Yeah.
And it was on a snowboard.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, yeah, does the same thing.
Okay.
Softening the front leg, coming into the turn. Absolutely works on a snowboard, even like fully retracting. Like I see a lot of snowboarders, high level carving, doing, this cross-undery stuff. It seems to work pretty well on a snowboard.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, there's there's absolutely not like an extension and a tip in on a snowboard. That doesn't work at all. But like the kind of the soften that makes the flat snowboard, the bringing up the leg ever so slightly.
Yeah.
takes you off that edge, and then you can kind of roll over and grip on the toes.
Okay.
Or heels, whatever. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Tell me about growing up surfing. When did you start surfing?
I remember very specifically being able to stand up. I stood up on a board when I was 8, which is kind of late. I think we didn't really have the right equipment for, like, my dad didn't really kind of go, right, yeah, I'm going to fully teach you, and here's the right board for it. I think because he didn't always know as well, like, he was a good surfer, and actually back in those days there was less available good learning equipment.
Right.
It's a bit like, oh, here's the advanced board, and here's the bigger advanced board that is good for learning just because it's big.
Yeah.
And easy to stand up on, but hard to catch the wave, dangerous if it hits you or whatever. So I first stood up when I was 8, and then surfing is like tricky when you're young, small. You can kind of ride around in the white water, like the easy bits, for a while, but to really get out and catch the good waves, you need quite a lot of paddle strength, or you need someone to help you,
right?
Or you need the right day. And I was like surfing in Wales, and it's like this notoriously hard beach to paddle out. It's just endless walls of white water.
Okay.
And I think because I could bodyboard when I was younger, because it was easier, I just kept doing it. And then eventually 14, I was like, look, no longer being a bodyboarder. I'm going to commit now. I'm always going to surf.
Okay.
Even if I paddle out or I can't paddle out and I get smashed back in, that's it. That's just what it's going to be. Otherwise, you're never going to learn. Yeah. So I think it was kind of, that's when I really say I like properly started, made it to the next stage and was able to surf, not autonomously, but like, yeah, actually surf. Yeah. And then because of skiing, had like quite a big break from that. So skiing and doing, well, when I went to Greece, I was teaching windsurfing, which is something I picked up in college, doing a outdoor education diploma. Okay. Because I was living inland. So we had the caravan in Wales. That was like my mum and dad's holiday home kind of thing, right? So we'd go there, surf on the weekends, only in the summer, go for the holidays. So like, I didn't grow up on the beach. I think maybe people think that now just because I live in Cornwall. Right. But yeah, there's a big gap between 18 and probably 20, probably when I started here. Similar, actually not doing ski seasons and getting more back into surfing, which then led to me getting more into snowboarding as well. So if you only started when you were 16? 14. Oh, 14. Well, I say started like actually felt like I could surf. Oh, okay. So reached a level of proficiency. Yeah, but right. Let's say like I got my first board when I was like 12. Okay. All right. I'm just trying to work out how long it takes to be like a decent surfer. I think what I had, which people that start now, because of the board business, I communicate with so many of these people that have started surfing in their 20s and 30s, and it takes them ages. And it's just this really tough, like, there's just like a couple milestones that are really hard, but once you get past them, things get a lot easier. Like kind of learning to get out, learning to read the waves is another one. It's like, actually there's so much involved in it. And I had that being younger, being by the sea, on the weekends, having the bodyboard, even though I wasn't standing up and surfing, I was out there learning to read the waves just over time. and then learning like, you know, paddling and getting up, and then like learning to duck dive. I learned that all before I was, you know, 15. Even if I wasn't very good at it.
Yeah, like you got that
there,
banked away. Yeah.
It's like the same with skiing.
The listeners are going to kill me if I don't ask you how one reads waves. It's such an obvious question.
It's not very obvious. No, I'm just... How long have we got?
I don't know. Like, is there something you look for? I thought waves come in 7s.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
No.
No?
I think it's like sets of 3 or 4, but not always. This is the thing, that every wave is different.
Oh, it's such a cliche.
Completely different.
Yeah.
And like throughout the session, the wave will can change.
Yeah.
Especially in like surfing, you know, the Atlantic at least, and surfing beach breaks, the difference from like if it was rock or reef underneath, which stays the same, the sand is moving too.
Mm-hmm.
With every wave, the sand is moving. So like, you know, there's little bits under the little raised bits of sand that's going to make the wave break there.
Yeah.
Or there or over there, and you know, even that will slightly change during a session if you're out for 2 hours, say. The tide's moving.
Really?
And in England we actually have quite big tides.
Yeah.
Europe, mostly quite big tides.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, you're sitting there just past the breaking bit and looking out to sea to see them forming like a slow roll.
Right.
Slow roller, like you know, the sea's raising.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah. A swell.
Yeah, the swell. And you're looking at that, and you're hopefully sitting kind of where the wave broke last.
Okay.
Where you last saw it break well. Or if you get down to the beach and there's a load of people sitting in one area, if it's a busy beach, that's probably where it's going to break. Mm-hmm. Or you sit on top, you know, so you can see everything. If you're patient, or if you don't know the beach, if it's a beach where it's kind of potentially dangerous, you really want to do this. You want to sit there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes. 20 minutes will allow you to see kind of at least one set, probably 2. Even longer if you've got the whole day and the tide's not changing too much. You know, you can sit there for 30 minutes. You'll see, okay, it's breaking there, and then it breaks over there, and then it goes back to, you know, that spot.
Oh, yeah?
And then, okay, that's a small set. That's a big set. That's a rogue wave out of nowhere, or a rogue set suddenly way bigger than...
Yeah.
Or sometimes it will go flat. 20 minutes, just go flat. You're just sitting there like, okay.
That's strange.
There's a lot of data on it, and Surfline is the most popular forecasting site now. They bought out the other one that was only for... Oh no, it was for Europe. There was an English one, and then that became the kind of worldwide one, but they were competing against another forecasting site, and then they bought the other one. And they've got loads of data. They've got cameras everywhere, like webcams. You can rewind them, slow motion, fast motion. You can... They're like developing... I don't know if... Like, I heard a podcast of a guy who used to own the old one and now works for the new one. They're developing like systems where you can log on and it'll tell you the best time of day to go on any given day, because their cameras have been recording for like however many years.
Yeah.
All the averages of like, okay, it's 12 p.m. on a Friday.
Oh, wow.
There's this many people. Or it's, you know, 6 a.m. on a Sunday, there's this many people. And like base that against the previous forecasts. It's kind of like arguably destroying the fun.
Yeah, I was just about to say, isn't that's surely in the same way that like everyone knows all the back roads, because if there's a traffic jam on Google, it just reroutes them. You know, doesn't that take some of the mystique away from, you know, surf spots? It's just too much information.
Yeah, but it's not every spot. So there's a handful of popular spots that have got a camera, there's spots that have got a forecast, but it maybe won't be so accurate. There's people fight to keep secret spots like
secret.
Yeah.
Okay.
But eventually everyone knows everything.
Yeah.
I can't remember where I was starting. Oh yeah, we were talking about reading a wave. Well, you kind of sitting there and waiting to see how it forms, basically. How it forms. And judging off, the last set wave that come through.
Yeah.
You're going to go and sit in that position and
hopefully that's where it
goes, or paddle as it's coming, keep moving to find the spot where it's going to break. Yeah, it's going to be steep enough. And at the same time, there's, however many people around you doing that. You're trying to suss them out and think if they're like, there's a priority where if you're sitting closer to the white water, then it's your wave. And depending how friendly the group is, sometimes people will paddle around you faster, or they'll see it and like quietly paddle around you.
So all of this builds up to my question then. So if you then take that and you go to essentially more of a fixed surface, which is snow.
Yeah.
Pretty easy.
What's easy?
The surface doesn't move. The thing that you need to drag you down the hill or to power you forward isn't moving spot all the time.
No.
It's essentially you, like if you're on snow, you have a pair of skis on your feet, you're working with gravity and the slope angle, which is essentially your power.
Yeah.
And the surface is more predictable than the ocean.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. What?
Well, it's easier sport, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Way easier.
What makes it way easier? It's like the repetitive motion, isn't it? Like we can go up and do that piece again.
Yeah.
Or if that bit on the side is too hard, then we can move to this side.
Mm-hmm.
And we can stop, talk about it.
Yeah.
I can even like show you the position in your body in terms of teaching as well as doing it yourself.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely easier. But you can kind of repeat like the beginner stuff. You can, if it's a fairly good day, you've got the white water doesn't change that much, and so you've got roughly the same speed of wave that just kind of picks you up and off you go.
Mm-hmm.
So then you can kind of repeat the motion of at least learning to stand up.
Yeah.
And then turn. But there is sometimes major difference even in the white water. Because there's the wave and then there's the texture of the water. So imagine you're skiing and it's like the snow is changing underneath you as you're going down, so you're having to look at it.
Yeah.
I suppose it kind of does that anyway, but it doesn't.
It certainly was doing that on Monday when I was coming down the stairs in that slush.
Yeah.
Slush and frozen stuff. Like Sunday was some of the weirdest snow I've ever skied. But I suppose what I'm trying to get at is I think in terms of having a repeatable action, skiing is probably quicker and easier to pick up than it strikes me that surfing is like a lifelong thing to have the same amount of, simply by just how difficult it would be to pick up. You've got to be in the right place, the right time, right place in the sea, in the right day that doesn't coincide with your job, right? And you just don't know what the weather's going to be like, and it all depends on whether there's a storm in the Atlantic like a million miles away, as compared to, I'm pretty much guaranteed that if I come to La Croze in January, I'm going to get some half decent snow, and I can make a very repeatable action. I can just go up and down, up and down, up and down, and I can get quite nice grooved action in terms of like a body of work. I can get there within a number of years, as opposed to surfing, which might be a lifelong pursuit, right? You know, I don't know if you consider yourself an accomplished surfer, but some of the guys in the videos that you send me or some of that, I'm just like, how are they so good, so young, considering all the variables?
Yeah, I think a lot of it is you'll by that beach.
Yeah, you grow up on the beach, right?
Yeah, with repeatable waves.
Yeah.
Don't think there's much more to it than that.
But that's not in a variable place, I suppose, is what I'm saying. So if you grow up in like Puerto Rico or whatever, like that guy, and your local beach is one that's just got the same wave coming in day after day after day,
definitely your technique.
You're going to get amazing real quick.
Well, it's like these kind of wave pools that are popping up, which has been interesting to see it as like a skier as well. It's like, okay, now you do have this repeatable thing.
Yeah.
Or like skateboarding, you can go pick up your board, go up to the ramp, try the trick again.
Yeah, and the wave pool, the texture of the water doesn't change
much.
The
wave doesn't change.
On
the setting, it doesn't change much.
Yeah.
But then it's weird because it kind of, I think they sit differently in my mind, the sports. Like, I quite enjoy going out, and even when the snow's not that good and working on your technique, you know, we all, to some level, we must enjoy it, and we think about a technique a lot, and there's time to think about a technique a lot, and so we go back and improve it. But then when I've gone to the wave pools, once I've figured out the wave, I think the first part is then figuring out the wave, which is maybe like, okay, I'm figuring out where I can do my turns on this run in order to control my speed, or to enjoy it the most, or to, you know, get a bit of angle over a roller or something like that. When I go to the wave pool, I'm like, right, okay, I've figured out the wave. I know I'm going to make this maneuver here in order to get back to here, in order to have the speed to make the next part of the wave. And then it comes to technique, and I'm like, okay, now I can try and make this a more powerful maneuver, turn better. And then probably because you pay for the wave pool, I mean, the one I've been to is Bristol, you leave feeling a bit like, I don't know, even surf, like...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like, did I enjoy that?
Ah, that's interesting.
I've been like 4 times, maybe.
Because it's a manufactured experience.
Because I'm thinking about my technique so much on something that's normally, I'm just reacting to the wave in front of me. And if I get a good, you know, turn, essentially, or a good maneuver, I'm like, wow, yeah, that was great. I read the wave. I did it in the most powerful part. That will never happen again.
Yeah, it's gone.
Like that.
Yeah.
That wave came out of nowhere and was amazing. Or it wasn't great and I made it great. But then, you know, the wave pool, I'm like, oh, you know, I just paid like a bunch of money to think about my technique, and it just doesn't do the same.
So, okay.
I don't know why it doesn't do the same as skiing. I mean, yeah, I've got a lift pass for a season. Maybe that's it.
No, but with skiing, aren't you doing the same to a certain extent? You can go back and hit a certain roller in a certain way until you get it how you like it.
Yeah.
Or do you not view it in that way? Well, I tell you the reason why I've been thinking about this a lot is I'm quite into the creativity side of skiing. Insofar as these days I don't just want to ski a slope for the sake of skiing it.
Yeah.
I view it as like a canvas.
Yeah.
And I like to play with the terrain and the movements to create something that's slightly beyond just, oh, I made a nice short turn there. I like to work with the slope in a
when the slope's
aesthetic way.
Different though, but then you kind of enjoy like just an absolute. Like we don't really get that much here, but there is those slopes that are just completely.
Yeah, we don't get that. Like everything here is on a roller or something.
That's true.
So I kind of like to. So for example, as you're skiing down, like the Crozet Stad on the left, just where that gully is, not the Stad, but the one next to it. There's a gully there, but there's quite a steep roller that goes over the top of that, and there's a sort of a way that you can ski over the top of that roller as it drops away.
Yeah.
That to me seems quite artful, and that's where I want to go with skiing. Now that I've kind of got a drilled-in movement pattern for this season, which is, to be fair, I don't really want that to end this season. I'm so enjoying it this year, but I want to, in the same way that you were talking about, say, right, that's a one-time wave, right? Like that's never gonna be repeated. Essentially, that action that I made on that wave that one time, that's gone. That's kind of how I want to ski various slopes now. I just want to kind of put my signature on it and then just ski away from it, and then that's it.
But you're saying that you kind of have to repeat that anyway, like over the roller, you're trying to get that.
No, I'm saying each time I'll try and do something sort of vaguely different.
Oh, okay.
But
then you're just pushing, aren't you? Pushing, okay, let's try and like...
Yeah, or try something slightly different. But I think you can only do that once you've gone beyond a certain...
skill level.
Like, I don't want to sit here and say I'm really skillful. Like I'm really not. But what I do want to say is that, like, I think you go... When you've gone to the end... and you popped out the other side of the system, you've completed something. You stop caring anymore. And I like if you were kind of working your way through exams, like you see Bruce and like you see Lucas and Tom doing, you know, they're going down and they're working on something, and it's like, I've got to get a repeatable action so that I can show whoever's standing at the bottom of the hill that I can really do it, so they give me the badge, right? Like, I don't care about that anymore. All I want to do is just ski about, look good, and make art on the slope in a way.
I know what you mean.
And that's when you said that about surfing. I was like, yeah, that's kind of what I'm trying to do with the canvas of the snow. And it makes me sound like a hippie, but it's kind of how I really want to think about it.
No, I totally get that.
You know, it's like aesthetic rather than.
Well, the pieces that are fun are the ones that are rollers, and there is banks, and you can ski them in these ways that we're kind of talking about. But there's something about me right now that, since I've said about this flat piece, I watched it was the PSIE's Instagram stories the other day, and there was Josh Duncan Smith, right, amazing skier, and he's on this piece that just looks like it goes on forever, super even.
Where are these places?
Yeah, and I looked it up. I think it was coming down to Sivier.
Oh yeah,
I think so. And I was like,
yeah, I've been there. There isn't one of those.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's Tion.
Oh, maybe.
Anyway,
okay.
And there's a couple in like Pila in Italy.
Yeah,
just even things. And since we started talking, like, part of me is kind of craving that, because then I can focus on my movements again.
Yeah.
Not worry about the terrain.
Yeah, that's true. It would be nice to have that. Like where we are is, I wouldn't say it's fiddly. No, I would say it's fiddly. It's fiddly. Everywhere you go has got like a little.
Yeah.
You know, it goes around the corner or it goes over a roller. Or it's a bit,
you can never really get like a set of movements going before you've got to change something.
No, I mean, for example, like the Plenny Stad in Morzine that's well repeatable. Probably, right? Like, that's just a long, flat, like, wall.
Yeah, or even the Stad in Avoria.
Yeah, because even
fairly simple.
Yeah, because even the Stad here in Crozet, right up the road, has got two different rollers on it, like huge ones. If you're sort of GSing it down, it's a bit much.
It is fun though.
Yeah,
I think the terrain here is very fun.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go on to the other things that we wrote down.
Yeah.
If you were...
Is this where the Dave intro...
Dave intro.
We're like, oh, we've talked about this.
We've talked about this for
No,
an hour
we're
and
gonna
15
talk about
minutes.
this.
Let's talk about something else. If you're young, we just talked earlier about us creating ski instructors. What advice would you give to a young instructor?
Yeah.
Like starting out right now, if they were serious about, I'm not talking about like someone who's just going for a gap year.
Career.
It's a different thing. Yeah, someone who really wants to make a life in skiing.
Yeah.
How would you do it? How would you go about it?
I remember something that someone told me. It was like a kayak instructor. Had a big business down where I lived in England on the river. Great business, made loads of money. And he used to be like a really, like kayakers smashing down like white water.
Yeah, it scares me.
Pretty gnarly stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was one of those like really high level, and I think there's a lot of rescue and stuff, whatever goes into it. Anyway, when he found out that I was like really wanting to be an instructor, and then it's like kayaking at the time, he was like, "Hey," he's like, "What you got to do is you got to go and get really good at the sport that you're doing." And this is like, there's two sides to this.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
He's like, if you're really good at it, everyone's going to want a lesson from you.
Okay.
They're going to want to learn from you.
That's one way.
They look at that guy and go, "Wow, he's good."
Yeah.
Right. And I was like, "Oh, I thought about it."
Also known as the Instagram method.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Like, you can take from that, okay, you're good at it doesn't mean you're a good instructor. But then I was thinking about this earlier, and I have spent a lot of time and money getting good to pass the exams.
Yeah.
But then once you finish the exams, training people, you're a good demo. They look at you and they go, "Oh, okay, he can ski, snowboard, surf. He should be the one that tells me what to do because I look at them and they're great." And then it's like you're teaching skills come out, don't they? If you've really done your research.
Yeah. I've been on some when I was shadowing those courses, prepping for the for our starting to do level ones and stuff like that. When I was shadowing Jamie and Chris, who are incredible skiers, they without question the groups were all, as they'd skied off and done a demo, all the groups were like, "Oh, he's an amazing skier.
Yeah,
he's an amazing skier. Oh, I wish I could ski like it." I was just like, oh. And actually, that in itself made me want to get my level back higher. But I also like to think that when people see me ski, which I'm not the best demo anymore, but I like to kind of, I don't know, I'd be interested to know what people think of my skiing, but I'm kind of, I don't know, I'm not, I know I don't look like those guys.
Yeah.
But I do things in kind of my own way. I like to play with the snow, and I like to kind of be playful and creative in the lines. And I often wonder what people would aspirationally, would they look at my skiing and go, "Oh, I really want to ski like him." I think I do a nice
level.
Yeah, I think I do a nice demo for example. I think if you're like a recreational sort of level skier,
yeah, oh, they love
like
it.
You might look at my skiing and go, "Yeah, he skis nice.
Yeah,
he skis sort of elegantly." That's probably what you might say.
Yeah.
If you saw me ski, it's pretty. Pretty.
Pretty.
But
what do you think then? That's one bit of advice.
Well, so that would be just get as good as you can possibly get.
I'm not saying that's like the be all and end all, but
and then you can learn how to teach.
No, I think it's as you're going.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a set kind of way. Like, you don't get really good and then teach, or get good whilst you're teaching.
Yeah.
But definitely not relaxing off on improving your own skiing.
We've definitely known already, though, haven't we? Some really high-level skiers in certain areas who have been terrible teachers.
Yeah. Well, you look at the kind of the French model. of like being a shit hot racer to be a teacher, and it just doesn't always work.
No. I think, how would I do it? I think I would go offer a similar advice, but what I would do probably is say I would learn from my own mistakes insofar as I showed up on my level 1 and 2 gap and quickly realised that I was already at the level.
Yeah.
Right, so those 9 weeks, apart from drilling in a really solid movement pattern for a short turn, which served me well forever, I didn't really need to be there.
How would have you avoided that? Because you don't always know.
No, you don't know what you don't know. And I think that's what the gap year... I think I would have been maybe better served by just moving straight out to the Alps, like skiing for a season, and then taking my level 1 and 2 at the end of that first year, if I'd have known that was an option. But when you're researching it and you're sitting in London and you don't have an idea really what you're talking about, you don't know that that's the way to do it. So you kind of pick the thing that's marketed to you the best. And in my case, it was gap course, and don't get me wrong, I had a good time, but I probably could have done it a different way. And a lot of those people that were on the gap course with me, in fact, the vast majority, no, I was the only one that ever went on and did anything. With the qualifications that I got. So, you know, you're not if you're serious about taking it on as a ski teacher, I think you'd be better off. What could if I'd have really known about how to do it, I would have gone and got my level 1 in the dome
straight away.
Right. And then I would have moved out to the Alps, practiced, gone and skied with people better than me, and then gone and taken my level 2 at the end of that first season and tried to just network and get myself a job.
I mean, a lot of people can kind of go straight to level 2 as well in the majority of systems.
If you've got a high recreational standard. I mean, some of the ones that we've seen coming through our level 1's been way above the level for level 1.
I was actually giving out this advice the other day. So a friend was like, the gap course is really expensive. I'm like, yeah, I know.
They are, aren't they?
And it's not necessarily for people that want to become ski instructors.
No.
And the level 1 is a pretty achievable standard, you know, if you're a recreational skier, and then you could be like, hey, to the trainer, like, what do I need to do to get my 2? And then you've saved yourself a bunch of money. What I did enjoy about my interski gap course, I don't know, 13 years ago, it did seem like the skiing one.
13 years.
Is it 13? I can't do maths. I don't even know what year.
I was 16. Yeah.
Well over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It did seem like a skiing one. There wasn't all these, I remember researching them all.
Yeah.
And I was there with my mum at the time, and I was like, you know, it's like, you got this money to burn. Like, it's a lot of money. And I was like, right, okay, there's this one in Val d'Isere, and it includes heli skiing. I'm like, okay, that'd be cool, but it's probably like an extra $5,000. You know, or there's this one that includes full outfit.
Yeah.
You know,
cool
all that
uniform.
Extra stuff you don't need.
Yeah.
And then Interski, I think it was the cheapest one. They still do one, and I think it's similar. It's like, here's your job after. We've got an internal ski school, so you can do a bunch of shadowing.
Yeah. And
just being around all these low level instructors, I was like, oh wow. I learned a lot just watching them when we were doing the training. Yeah, you know, and who we were doing the training with, she's called Emma. I can't remember the rest of her name now. I don't know if she's still in the industry, but she was like the instructor manager and the trainer of us. So she was going around, and occasionally you just catch wind of this instructor doing this thing wrong. And so we were learning as we were going with that.
Yeah,
it's great. So there's your skiing advice. The exam advice. What about
what would you and beyond, or we
what? So we're going from then.
Well, let's say
all the way to the top. advice, or?
Yeah, I mean, you've both been there. So what beyond? So let's say you've gone and got your level 1 and level 2, however it may have been.
Yeah.
Where would you go next? What's your next step?
I don't know, because this is where I thought that actually I should have. I tried to do this way where I was like, okay, I don't need to pay for another expensive gap course, because there was all these kind of level 3 gap courses which still seem to kind of go on, or free like work and train, I believe they call them.
Yeah.
You know, there's a bunch over in, if we're talking Basie, there's a bunch over in Verbier.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, easy. I imagine there's the same sort of thing.
Maybe. Yeah.
PSIE, Jamie runs that kind of thing.
Yeah.
In Nanda. I think like experience and teaching is going to help you. Skiing, finding yourself in resorts where you're around better people and motivated people, that was a big thing in New Zealand. The lack of work was kind of good at times, because there was a load of people from different organisations who all wanted to go and ski.
Yeah.
The ski school running training, great, but at some point you do need to take yourself away and just go and do a load of training. If you're not at the level if there's a big gap for you between the 2 and the 3, or the 3 and the 4, that was essential for me. I was a recreational skier. I did like a little bit of dry slope racing. I think you're the same. Like we needed to go and
you have to go and practice.
You've got to go and practice with someone that knows what they're doing.
Yeah,
and unfortunately, you got to pay. For their time.
Yeah,
and I think unless you're a little bit more naturally talented or grew up on skis, so like Stuart, our instructor, hasn't really, since doing the Swiss system, hasn't really paid for any training.
Yeah.
He's kind of tapped us up for advice.
Yeah.
Skied around with a bunch of good kids.
Yeah.
But kind of grew up in Verbier, so had that base level, and also is like, pretty natural sportsman.
Yeah.
So I think unless you're that person, and I remember going, like, I failed my first free tech because I kind of did 1 week of training, thought I was there, felt good, everything felt good, had a load of confidence, and then didn't do any more training, turned up the course and was miles away.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the next year I was like, right, let's get like 3 solid weeks of training and pass the 3.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from a ski school director's point of view, so when we're doing recruitment, would you rather have a level 2 who's gone away and done a bunch of the actual job, or would you rather have someone who's done like a work train thing? I think probably every day of the week I would take the person that's done the actual job.
Yeah.
Like experience is key.
Yeah, but for their
career.
For their career.
In terms of just going along and passing exams, there's so many modules in a lot of these, in a lot of the level 3s. I mean, mine just took ages to tick them off.
Yeah, seasons.
Ski. I don't know how it was when you did it, but when I had to go through the British 3, you had to go to Scotland for one of the weeks.
Yeah, I went to Scotland.
Right, we both went to the Scotland. You don't have to do that anymore.
No.
But you had to do the coach, you had to do the tech, you had to do the teach. There was something else. Coach 1, something else, mountain safety. Like, it's just relentless. It was almost like it was a slowing down mechanism.
It was almost unachievable in one season, especially with the mountain safety. Oh no, you didn't have to log tools for the first one, do you? No. But so you're saying you'd rather have a level 2 that's done a season teaching than one that's done like a mixed season where they've worked peak weeks and done a load of training? Because I think the guys that have done a load of training rather than in their off weeks just gone and skied about. They're going to at least have some technical info in their brain. And
oh yeah, for sure. I just don't think there's any substitute for having gone and done the job.
For the job, yeah.
For the job,
yeah.
Yeah, and I also think you get a lot of benefit if you're really paying attention. I think you get a lot of benefit from just skiing around at a basic parallel level. So if you're actually just doing the job, but at the same time being aware of having some self-awareness of your own skiing, I think you can make a lot of improvements and changes just by basically skiing around in front of the group, but paying attention to what you do.
I always felt like I needed a bit of direction though, because I think between my 2 and my 3, I was like, things feel good. I'm holding an edge down a red run, and then someone shows you a video and you're like, oh God, like that looks awful.
Yeah, maybe. I can't really remember how I did it. I think I just worked at it, and I didn't do any specific like technical training for level 3. I might have done actually. I might have done like 1 or 2 weeks or something like that, just to get a bit of direction, but not an enormous amount. And we did have some really inspirational skiers within the ski school I was working for at the time, and so that was good.
Yeah,
you know, you pick up a lot from that. And I think the other thing is you just got to go skiing with people that are better than you.
Yeah,
that's the real key, because then you get into situations where you just got to kind of like adapt or die. You know.
Yeah, just going off piste with.
Yeah, people who really know what they're doing, and I think that their time is precious, you know, because they're good skiers and they want to go some places. So you can't, waste their time by being rubbish. But essentially, no, you just got to go skiing. You got to do the job, and you've got to go skiing with people better than you. That would be my advice.
Yeah,
and then just tick off the exams as and when you can afford to do them, because that's the other issue between that level. Is you're out in the Alps, you haven't got 2 beans to rub together most of the time. You know, you're just about scraping together the money to get your exams, especially with how much it costs for some of them. You know, what is it, like 500 quid for an exam? Same for accommodation, then you've got to get there, then you've got to get a lift pass. Like it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. So, I mean, that would be the way. I don't know, it kind of rolls us into our next question. I think if I had my time again, would I do it the same way again? But I did. I would change the gap, for sure.
Get rid of your first gap.
I'd start younger, is what I would do.
Yeah.
So I would have done it when I first thought about it, actually, which was when I was 20-something, not when I was 30-something.
Yeah, but then would you have had the financial backing? I'm assuming you had the financial backing from your city job.
No, not really. Like we shut down the brokerage, and that just about, because it was credit crisis time. So we kind of shut down. There was some money, but not a lot. No. Essentially, I pretty much sold up everything to come out here. But the first season, I was working 3 jobs. Right, so ski instructing in one of the worst seasons that we ever had since I can remember, which was 2009, 2010. It was terrible. It snowed like once and a half. And there was no real work at the ski school. I was driving transfer buses backwards and forwards to Geneva Airport at night. And I was trying to do a bit of like part-time blogging and journalism on the side. And
you did the gap course early season, didn't you?
Yeah, I did it in the summer. I mean, that's quite...
And then you had that, and then you got the job.
Yeah, I wrote to literally every Swiss ski school in the Alps.
And Morjan took you.
And Morjan took me, luckily. Thanks, Rolf. And I've been here ever since, like around the area. But like that... So no, it wasn't... I didn't have like limitless funds to do it. It was, I was, in the early years, I was writing to my mum kind of every other month going, hey.
Yeah.
I was 30-something. That's embarrassing. And eventually, those days have ended.
I assume that you were not like these kind of, there's this category of like hobby instructor.
Yeah, independently wealthy.
Yeah, I kind of assume that when you started, you like had that.
No.
And that's how you were able to kind of create this business. But
no, this all happened. This has all been bootstrapped. It's not. That's why I guess I'm a bit more precious about it, because I know what what it came from, which is essentially nothing.
Yeah.
And it started with me building kind of my own book of kind of loyal clients.
So you're 30 when you came?
I was 33.
And then when did you get your brevet?
Oh my God, that's a really good question. 2015 or 16, maybe.
How old are you now? Are you allowed to say this on the podcast?
48.
I keep forgetting how old you are.
Yeah, so I think I've been here 16 years now this season. And yeah, I think the ski school's getting on for maybe 10 years or something.
So between the getting your brevet and starting the ski school, how long of a gap was that? Or was it almost immediately?
Almost instantly.
You were like,
because as soon as I got it,
done it.
Well,
kind of
as soon as I got it, I said to my boss, "Look, I'm a big deal now."
Yeah.
I said, "You're going to pay me more, or I'm going to leave." And he was like, "You better leave." Okay. It was kind of inevitable because kind of what I was asking for was more than they were paying the other guys, and it only had a limited future because in that school, a little bit like what the economics that I've got with some of you guys now is it costs a fortune to pay you. You get all the work, but you're on the biggest salary as well, and that just wasn't an option where I was. So I just had to go and do my own thing. And actually, realistically, it was the best thing. They kind of knew that it was going to happen anyway.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm also keen for you guys to kind of build up your own clients within the ski school. Have a bunch of repeat business in case any of you wants to do your own thing as well. That's how it should work. And you can't get in people's ways if they want to fly.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. It took a long time. It took a very long time. It must have been, I don't know exactly how many years it took me to get all the way through to finally to the position where I could start my own thing.
Yeah.
But it was always the ambition, is to have my own school. But if I did it again, I would skip the gap bit, but otherwise I wouldn't change much.
The rest of it the same.
Yeah, because in hindsight, those were wasted weeks.
We had a very different kind of arrival journey to the same kind of fully qualified point, didn't we? I guess mainly because of the age of starting.
Yeah.
Like yours was a second career.
Yeah, mine feels like it's been a slog though, because I've been fighting against my age all the way through.
Yeah.
And physical limitations where, you're, what are you, 30?
30 now, yeah, and I think
But you've still got you're still amazingly flexible and you're still incredibly agile.
But I kind of ticked all the exam boxes that needed
muscles
when I was 26.
Right. Yeah. Which I think is that would be if I could go back in time to a former version of me, I'd be like, when I first thought of this, sometime in my 20s, I should have just done it then.
Yeah.
But I think I would have ended up as a snowboard instructor.
Oh yeah, because you're a snowboarder.
So I was a former snowboarder. So that would have been quite interesting. But it was that probably that would go under the bucket of advice for people. If you think about it, you've got to go and do it while you're young.
Yeah.
Because this isn't a game that you can pick up late with what they're asking for at level 3 and 4 in terms of agility and performance. It's not an easy thing.
No, unless you've got a background in.
Yeah. What about you?
Ski racing.
How would you have done it differently?
No, I think actually my gap course was good because I was 18 and it was a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And I met a load of good people on it, skied the whole season, skied every day.
Yeah.
People to ski with, had this accommodation with it, and I think as an 18-year-old, you don't know anything.
Yeah.
You don't just go out and do your level 1 and get a job. Not many of 18-year-olds do that.
No. No.
You know, I was pretty mature, but I definitely needed that season. At first I was like, oh, okay, I'll go and do a season as like a whatever chalet job and then ski and figure out the scene and then do it.
Yeah.
And then actually as soon as I did the gap course I was like, no, well now I've done it and it's one season quicker.
Yeah.
Now I know a load of things and could even come back and get the job there. I don't think I even applied for anything else. I was like, yeah, I'll just do these interski weeks. It's all there. It's laid out for me.
Well, I suppose if you're part of their full-time crew there as well, you're slightly sitting above, aren't you? The guys that come out on the bus and just do the odd week here.
I mean, I was still coming out. It was only later on when I was kind of chipping away at the free stuff that I became like enough of a familiar face where they were like, oh yeah, you know, you're here, we'll give you the easy shift.
Yeah.
But I mean, the season after that, I did 8 weeks of beginners.
Sausage machine.
Yeah. I think, like, for me, the travelling part later on, kind of from 3 to 4 or 3 to Swiss qualified.
Yeah.
This, like, especially coming into this ski school where we've got you, like, the fact that I've been and seen a load of other ski schools, seen a load of other systems.
Yeah.
You know, people love talking about like, oh, where's your favourite place to ski? And, you know, talk about Japan and whatever.
That's
and,
true.
You know, I don't think they were like, I never went on any like really rogue missions. You know, I did a bunch of my peers were doing the same thing, you know, similar resorts. Like the kind of Australia, New Zealand, Japan thing was quite well done back then. It's maybe even more well done now because of British instructors' kind of limitations post Brexit.
Yeah, and good on them as well. You know, going to Japan is a big deal.
Yeah, so I'd say like that's good, and maybe even do more.
Yeah,
go stick yourself in a totally unknown resort.
Yeah, go to South America or something.
Yeah,
go random place.
Go figure it out, and you know, you'll learn something. Like,
yeah, that's part of it, isn't it? I think that's part of the journey.
Yeah, and like once you're kind of either you're older and you know get a real job, or you end up having something so good in a ski school that you don't want to leave, so then you can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
But maybe at that point you need it, so like I did. So that's definitely...
Well, I think there is that, because I think, you know, I mean, the other thing that, apart from, you know, the age being against me, I think all the way through that would be also that I arrived here with, you know, it wasn't like free and easy. You know, I arrived here with a wife and a dog, you know, and like with a view that I was changing my life around and trying to make it. So I've always ended up being like way more serious than everybody else.
Yeah.
Because I'm kind of working towards a goal. Whereas I think if you're just, you know, you take your level 1 or 2 or whatever and you're 18 and you're just free and easy and do what you want, like there's a whole different outlook, isn't it?
Definitely. Are you kind of straight away more career focused?
Yeah, it's been a bit relentless. A bit boring, I suppose, in a way. Less fun. What, we've been going quite a long time.
Yeah, how long has it been?
140. What's the summer hold for you? So you're going to go back, teach a bit of surfing.
Yeah. And
make surfboards.
Make some surfboards.
Make a lot of surfboards.
Yeah, I think now, I tell you what's happened the last few days. I got 2 inquiries for wedding boards. So someone wanted a special board with pressed flowers and some sort of text on it.
What an amazing idea.
And then this one was like, yeah, and then people who come to the wedding can ride it the whole weekend. So like a big easy board for everyone. I was like, okay.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So I need to speak to them and try and finalise what they mean by text. And
so you're going to make like a big white with flowers, big foamy board.
He's like some sort of heart on it somewhere.
That's so cool.
And then I got another one today, which is bizarre because it was literally yesterday. I never had anyone ask me about this before. And they said, can you make us just a blank board? Doesn't even have to be seaworthy. And I'm like, well, it's not really the point, but that's fine. So people can write on it on our wedding.
Oh, right,
just have it there. And I've seen that before.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm trying to think who this has come from. And then I remember I sold a board to a woman who was sending me a photo of her old board, and she said, there's a funny story about this. We used it as our wedding board, and it got written all over by the guests, and then she said they broke up. And so she said they like sanded it all off or something. Unless it's her that's been like, oh hey, I've been talking to this guy, I got a new board, and
I've got an idea for you, and I will tell you after we turn this off. I don't want to give away a trade secret here, but that's really cool. So for those of you, I've probably done this in the preamble text, but you're making in the last, how long has that been going now? 2-3 years?
Maybe 4.
So you set up your company, Hand Laid Eggs, and you're making surfboards, custom surfboards.
Yeah, most handmade. So hand laid is the handmade part. That's the business name. Hand Laid Eggs, and then eggs is a type of. It's like a shape of a board that, funny enough, does actually look a little bit like an egg.
Yeah.
Kind of more rounder, easier boards.
And it's going well.
It's going well.
It's going more than well. It's going better than you expected.
For boards, yeah. I think it's funny when you think about businesses, it was never designed to be a profit thing.
Okay.
I think at the end of the day, if it's a business, you've got to make money off it. But like, I thought I had an idea that would then, give me something to do, interesting, take away from relentless surf teaching.
Yeah.
But it was never like, this is like just gonna make me my millions, Yeah. There's only so many surfboards that need to be sold in the world. But I mean, there is these people who, it's like a brand, isn't it? Any brand can start off as a surf shop selling t-shirts. I don't know, like Billabong or whatever.
Yeah,
these big brands, like they were just making shorts in the 70s, and then now they're being bought out by Nike and stuff like that. So I guess like that's one way of thinking about it, but that's not really what it's for. It's for me to enjoy making these boards, to provide a kind of a good, different board that is handmade, that is available, rather than something that's got a big turnover.
Yeah,
I think if you're gonna, nobody makes that much money selling surfboards.
Maybe they're not doing it right.
No.
Yeah.
It's this like tricky balance, isn't it, with like being genuine, a genuine, good doing business and making loads of money.
I think you can do both. I genuinely do, and I think hopefully that you will have seen that within our ski school. So I'm not just blowing smoke up my own, but I genuinely think we try do the right thing. Majority of the time, we don't take advantage of people. We try to do the right thing by people all the time.
Yeah.
And that does not always go hand in hand with making loads of money. And you've seen the compromises I think that I've had to make where we, were I more of a relentless capitalist, I don't think it would be as nice a place to work.
No. But then sometimes it hits the instructors hard when you're kind of too nice and you're like, oh no, we'll reschedule, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's like the long-term game with that.
I think so.
Which you need as an instructor to be kind of invested in the ski school to understand the long-term gain, to go, actually, no, that's fine. I maybe should have got paid for that, but that client's going to come back
and come back,
and they're going to come back, and all the other clients that,
maybe
I'm going to get one tomorrow that
yeah
cancelled on another instructor because they got halfway up the road and there was too much snow and they didn't know how to use the snow chains, and so they turned back. And
I just think I think it's not very. You're right. I think probably the way that we can do that better is to explain it better on the way in. So I was explaining that to the ski instructor that we've been trying to recruit in the last couple of days. In the morning, I've been sort of trying to say, look, I want you to have a kind of similar commercial mindset to the mindset that we've got, which is sure, like, I would like you to be flexible where it's possible, because you never know where this might lead.
Yeah.
So you can sit there and be on the clock and you can say, yeah, sure, like this lesson ends at 10 to 10 if old mate was 15 or 20 minutes late. You can do that. And especially if you've got another lesson straight after. So if you can't be understanding, fine. But if you've gone out of your way and gone the extra mile for Mr. and Mrs. Smith, Mr. and Mrs. Smith might really, really appreciate that. And they might book you next weekend.
Yeah.
And then they might book you the weekend after. And the one after that. And then they'll tell 10 of their mates what a great time they had and what a wonderful person you are. And before you know it, you're fully booked all the time. You see how Nige does it, right? You're fully booked all the time. Yeah. It's just because he gets it, totally gets it. And, I think it's an imprecise environment. That's the other thing about skiing. The environment is difficult. You've got lifts that sometimes work, that don't work, snow's bad, parking, this, that, and the other, right? Like, it's very hard to be on time. Not everyone lives their life like that. So I think we try to be understanding where it's possible. And I think that's something that I think we need to say to people on the way in for us as well. It's like we're trying to do the right thing by people most of the time. And I think that comes back in a good way, like in a karmic way, I think.
Yeah.
And the same seems to me, it applies to you with the ecosystem that you're trying to create with your surfboard company.
Yeah.
Right? You're creating nice stuff for nice people.
Yeah, and it's got this personal touch. So if you turn around and go, wow, this is it. This is what I've made you, so you're going to take it. You read the terms and conditions.
That's not a great way to do business.
And then, maybe they'll
I'd expect that if I was buying a dishwasher from, I don't know, B&Q or wherever you buy it from, right? You buy the wrong one.
Yeah, they're too big of a company to.
Yeah, and you go and try and put it in your house or something and it doesn't fit, and you go back and say, I'm really sorry, I bought the wrong one, and they're like, screw you. Like, we don't care.
Or we don't know you're lying.
Yeah. Like that. I'd expect that from a large corporate, but I think if you're dealing with people, I think you've got to deal with them in the right way. You've got to treat them how you would like to be treated yourself, I think, is the underlying thing.
Yeah.
Which is kind of how I like to try and do it, but I understand that doesn't always work for everybody.
I think, like, you're there communicating with these people as well.
Yeah.
And so it probably feels even harder for you to say, you've communicated with them personally from the start. It's not even that they've gone through a booking system and then turned up late. It's like you've spoke to them.
Yeah, we've set it up. Right? It's the same process that you're using.
Exactly.
Right? Like everything's detailed and in person.
Yeah, and sometimes for hours.
Yeah.
And then you turn around and go, well, I'm still going to take your money. Just doesn't feel so good, does it?
I don't think so. No.
And I don't feel like we deal with people that try and cheat.
No, most of the time I think the people that we deal with are nice, and that's why I can say to people, I think our company's like a meeting spot for nice people who want to meet nice instructors. That's kind of how I view it.
Yeah. Very rarely you get.
Yeah, but it strikes me that's the vibe that you've got going on with the surf company. It's the same thing. It's these are people that are looking for something slightly outside the mainstream.
Yeah.
And then they find you and you're offering them exactly that, but in a really personalised way. It's really cool.
Yeah.
You're onto something for sure, because I bet you that doesn't really exist that much.
No, that's the kind of feedback I get.
Yeah.
And that, when I was starting, I was like, what are these people? Like, I know they're there.
Yeah.
It's trickling.
Yeah.
Trickling in. And then, like you said, someone that I thought I'd maybe pissed off ends up recommending me. I'm like, I thought that person wasn't actually that happy. And they were like, but they did a great thing. You made them that board again. Yeah, you got it. Like, it wasn't right the first time, but you made them that board again, and that meant a lot to them. So they told 5 people about it.
It's easy. Easy. All right. Well, listen, I'm going to let you go. We've already taken up quite a lot of time.
Yeah, you feel free to cut it.
I don't know. Again, the vibe is. You can tell this one is way. What's going on?
There you go. That's the natural end.
Yeah, it's a natural end. Someone's trying to sell me something.
Yeah. You've been away from your phone for an hour and.
It's exactly
40.
Almost 2 hours.
You're going to get back to. Well, to be fair, it's not exactly the time for inquiries, is it?
I don't know who's ringing me. No, that'll be a cold call.
Yeah.
But but thank you very much. Appreciate that. Now the relaxed pace of this, I think, reflects that we know each other.
I hope it's been good for the listener.
It might be too chilled. This is a going to sleep one, I think.
Yeah. It's been funny to be on the other end. I thought there'd be a studio. There's no studio.
There's no studio. There's a couple of mics on my phone.
There's no headphones.
There's no glamour. Right. See you later.